battles start just, you know, running away in random directions, it's going to be hard to lock them down.
Let's go ahead and jump into the game. And indeed, they have not made any choices or any changes so far. And you make a good point about the AoE panic. It does make it a little easier to land, just because it does explode regardless of whether it hits or not. But not the most ideal BattleRekt to pick.
I think it's just more so you're not going to be able to put use to it as frequently as you'd like, right? The one time it does work when you really need it is great, but it might not be until the end when you're really low on health and you really need to panic them both away. Whereas, you know, if you don't go that and go something else more useful, it'll probably, you know, oh man, Blank's getting chased down again.
Blanks uses a panic flash that does land, but Condemned lands a big double incapacitate. That's going to really help them keep up their aggression. Center Orb is a consideration, and Prizes will win that. There's a space into the charge strike, and now barrier is going to be spent for Blanks. But a good opening for Condemned and Iska. They just need to be careful to not let 2-on-3, 2-on-3 answer back with too much damage of his own.
Now that mid-range game, they're going to see spacing up at 2-on-3 with full health. He's going to be going in confidently these battles. Oh, mistimed that.
Yeah, mistimed it and also lost that orb. And so Condemned and Iska are looking really comfortable right now.
Oh, didn't want to proc that counter, so we tried to go for Iska instead. But we're going to see the double ultimate probably coming out of Prizes very soon, both with full energy.
Ooh, Panic Flash gets eaten up by the Shifu counter, and that's going to expose Blank's lock. He doesn't have
there
Swift Roll.
It is!
Wow, actually somehow was not able to close out the kill just in those ultimates, but then Iska comes in with a space and the charged weapon strike, and Blanks goes down. And that's going to make it very tough for 2-on-3, 2-on-3 to win out this 2v1.
The double petrified just so strong. And keeping 2-on-3 out of the fight, allowing them to hone down on Lucy. And again, with her minor amount of mobility, it really does make it easy for him.
2-on-3, 2-on-3 does get his counter procced, and he will be on Berserk right now. Baits out the counters. Now he's going to use the ultimate. And he does actually get that orb. With the last hit of the ultimate, it does exactly 36 damage, and that's how much health was left on the orb. Dodges the 2, petrifies, and will get resources here, but will not get the health orbs. Counter does get procced, and 2-on-3, 2-on-3 was in Berserk. Lands a counter on Shifu, and this might be the end here.
They tried to go for the flick, but it did not matter. They were ready for it. Not a whole lot of options when there's only one person left on the field. You kind of know how to read them. Only one set of cooldowns you have to prepare for, and the first round of this is going to go to Prizes. I'm impressed with their ability to really just try and keep 2-on-3 out of the fight. And we saw again, they engaged, they did their best, they tried to hunt down Blanks, but Blanks actually did a good job of not taking too much max health damage, and then both teams separate. They get ready, you know, Blanks tries to heal up to max health, the other two just try and, you know, get that mid control. They want to try and push people towards a certain corner because they can really try and keep 2-on-3 out of the fight. And then as soon as they engage, that's when everyone starts to try and read those timings again, and everything just goes crazy.
Really well done by Condemned and Iska. They're one round up now. But like we mentioned before, 2-on-3, 2-on-3, and Blanks are the masters of adaptation. And really it's going to be up to whether they can close it out with Rook Lucy. They've done it many times with Rukhan Lucy, but Rook is going to be the X factor here. Nice use of the crushing blow. We'll put the armor break on. The counter does get procced. Blanks is going to have trouble kind of peeling himself off. The big panic flash buys a lot of time for Blanks. Now with the barrier, gets petrified up by the Sirius, and they're going to lose center orb for it. Nice wall bang, incapacitate into the wall.
They both counter.
Yeah, while Iska just gets feared away, and that's going to buy Blanks time again. Panic Flask is so good for Lucy.
Oh, not going to counter. Oh, they ended up getting the counter anyways.
Good timing on the crushing blow. Will stun right when that material from the counter runs out. And it seems like 2-on-3, 2-on-3 and Blanks. Look at their health levels right now, but they've just been able to chip away.
98%. 98% to 51.
That's a ton. Blanks is being connected on here, weakened up, so he can't really heal it just as well. The ultimate comes out, and Blanks is going to use the barrier to push that ultimate away from him. And now looking to re-establish mid control, but again, Project tries to lose it. That's really hurting their chances at coming back in this game.
Just at the end range of his M2 stun, he was able to get Sirius out of it while he does retain 50% energy. Oh, but they're going to hunt down Blanks. Blanks now solo. Oh, but the panic actually really helped Condemned now.
Blanks uses a clarity potion to push Condemned away a little bit. Immaterial runs out. The counter, the damage on the crippling goo will actually close it out on Condemned. Nicely done from Project Horizon to just kite away. They won 0 of the center orbs, but were able to play defensively so well that they were still able to keep their health up.
I mean, that was a 98% health pool. 99 to what, 58 or 51 in the middle of that match. They just doing a great job of poking when they need, trying to get that burst. And as I mentioned, single ability bursts, neither of these teams have a lot. And as far as hard CCs, trying their best to try and push damage while they're CC'd, not the same combos we see. So that's why I'm really liking, since neither of these teams kind of have that gimmick of the stun locks mixed with damage, they're having to find much more unique ways to try and deal consistent damage to any one particular character on the field.
Absolutely true. Blanks at 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Tie it up 1 round each. We've still got 4 more rounds before a team can possibly win it. Counter does get procced. Shifu will get onto Blanks, doing a ton of damage, just chunking health away, and there's a big charge strike from Iska. Petrify gonna land both of them after the incapacitate, and now Blanks is being 2v1. Barrier does come out, but he gets striked again. Swift roll is not quite available, and there it finally is. Counter being popped by 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and now doesn't have it. And he could find himself in a bad situation here, gets incapacitated, and Blanks is gonna kite out. I actually think the correct decision there was probably to go on 2-1-3, 2-1-3, but they're committed to this method. Swift roll being spent, and 2-1-3, 2-1-3 is gonna continue pressuring Iska.
Oh man, got the incap just before he got petrified. Now 2 of the 4 out of the match temporarily.
Again, the aggression from Condemned and Iska, playing truly to Sirius and Shifu's synergy. Oh, and Blanks gets cornered here. We'll be able to close it out. It's starting to look cleaner and cleaner from Condemned and Iska. That was certainly a case of almost everything going right for the Shifu Sirius. They were able to win center orbs, pressure out the healer, make connections, isolate 2v1, get the CC. That's everything you can dream of for a Shifu Sirius.
Looking at 2-1-3, knowing he actually might have a shot at some of this. If he can take one of them out, he might be able to try and use his counters to do. But I mean, we see Shifu with nearly full like health. There's nearly no way out of that. They're going to take a round number 3, giving them a 1-round advantage for the time being. And like you said, a lot of it really is just those small outplays, the micro outplays. Just one ability at a time, trying to pull him out of him, make him waste him, not get any damage off. And we know that, you know, Sirius and Shifu, if any of their abilities start to go unanswered, they really just start to pick up the pace. And that double ultimate we see out of them. 100 total from Sirius if they land the whole thing, and 112, I believe, is from Shifu. That's 212 damage. That is way more health than Lucy even has.
Lucy is 190, I believe.
Yeah, Lucy's 190, and we're seeing Rook sit at a max health of 250, so it will be close to pulling him out of the whole thing, and he cannot counter that either, so he would take full damage had they landed that. But again, a lot of that is timing. When is their mobility down? When are their stuns down? As we know, Rook has a lot of small stuns between his rush and his M2. We see Petrifies coming out of Lucy and Panics, so they have a lot of ways of getting them out of those ults, and since they both have channeled ults, a lot of that comes down to timing and really trying to manipulate your opponents.
All right, heading into the 4th round, 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and Blanks down 1 and need to find a way to come back into it. Iska's gonna whiff the first Petrify and the second one as well. Counter does whiff for 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and now it's gonna be 2v1 against the Rook here. Gets weakened up. Blanks is trying his best to try to heal 2-1-3, 2-1-3 up, and another counter goes away for waste for 2-1-3, 2-1-3. The center orb is gonna be, wow, nice from Condemned. Uses the EX pool to get that orb out of harm's way, secure it for his own team. Now look at the pressure Blanks. Nice timing on that barrier, but will proc Sirius's counter, and it seems like still 2-1-3, 2-1-3 is in trouble because Blanks has had to spend so much time protecting himself.
And that is a big key of it. He goes in understanding that he'll get the heals and potentially the barriers as well, but now we're going to see him low. But we have seen him turn this around pretty easily. Oh, we will see he's going to take a lot of damage now.
Has to use the spacebar to get out of there. And Condemned actually does take the last hit of damage. Petrify available. Clarity Potion is going to pull 2-1-3, 2-1-3 out of that. Panic Flash gets eaten up by Shifu, and the counter gets procced. Condemned might be in a bad spot.
And stunned right out of his ult, dealing almost no damage.
Has to spend the immaterial on the boulder toss, and I think you're going to look for 2-1-3, 2-1-3 to make a big connection here. Has to respect the counter, but watch out for the Astral Beam.
Oh, the counter actually saved him from the last ticks of damage.
Oh, the charge strike from Iska is enough to burst down the health of Rook. Not enough max health to be able to fill up to full. And Project Horizon got really, really close. But again, Condemned and Iska on the Shifu Sirius are able to close out a kill.
I definitely see Lucy having a small chance of this, that she can pick up that energy. But she's going to get petrified. They're going to start lining up the damage. We're going to see an M1 followed by some M2s from Condemned. Just enough, timing it perfectly as the petrified shield goes down. For those that do not know, Petrify does give you a 20 damage stone shield. And once that breaks, you're actually out of Petrify. So it doesn't work the same as stuns. You can't just wail on them while they're petrified. But it does allow you to kind of sit and wait, and the moment Petrify's off, that shield goes down, you can just start slamming them with everything you got.
But the different CC is very interesting.
Yes.
Incapacitate is any damage you do will pull them out of it. Then you have Panic, which is a set amount of damage, and no shield, so they will take all the damage that they take, but after a certain amount of damage that you do, they will break out of the CC, and they will be running while they're panicked. Petrify is no actions, no running, no walking, no attacking, but there is a shield. And then after that shield is gone, the instant you take damage, you get pulled out of it. And then stun is just never. You're just always in stun.
Stun is, the typical CC. You can't move, you can't do anything, and whatever damage they deal on you is damage they'll do on you. Looks like we might have a little bit of a connection problem. Potentially 2-3 standing still, but they're actually just going to continue with the fight and engage. Respectful interactions from them both.
Respectful indeed. And Panic goes out onto Condemned. Counter on Sirius does not get procced. Meanwhile, 2-1-3, 2-1-3 gets incapacitated. And hitting the Kunju again. And that's going to start hurting Blanks if he does that anymore. Nice landing on the Panic Flask. It's going to allow 2-1-3, 2-1-3 to get a good amount of damage here. Orb gets taken by prizes. This is a big thing for Project Horizon, and they had such good orb control on Rukon Lucy, but it seems with Rook Lucy, it's much more difficult for them.
I haven't seen Lucy use her Clarity Potion to get Condemned out of immaterial very often. Might be one of those things, trying to save it for other moments, for the stuns and all the petrifies that they've been lining up.
It does seem like the situation where Clarity Potion is so valuable defensively. Ooh, tried to use a Rock Meat combo. And now they're just spacing again. But Project Horizon is not too low on health themselves. Does land a Prismatic Strike into a Charge Strike onto the Lucy. Petrify will hold up 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Crippling Goo to try to secure mid-control. The stun lands on the Whirling Blade. There's a rush into it. Tries to get the Incapacitate wallbang. Counter doesn't land for 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Rather, he will proc Iska as the turnaround on the Crushing Blow. And now I think Condemned has to be very, very careful. He will spend his immaterial. And this is a dangerous scenario. Swift Roll is going to get... Oh, the rush comes in but misses it. Incapacitate is a good option for Condemned. Uses the EX... Oh, man, I don't know. I think it was just a normal pull. But 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Looking to make connection off the Panic Flash and does get it. Counter does proc. Kunju gets taken away by the Clarity Potion. There's a Crushing Blow, but 2-1-3, 2-1-3 gets petrified immediately after. And there's a second Petrify. Crippling Goo comes out, and Condemned has to back away. The counter is gone, and so this could be a tough spot. Gets pushed into the dead zone, and Condemned is getting really, really low. Oh no, Project Horizon win the orb. They might actually take the round. There needs to be a big connection in the next few moments if Condemned and Iska want a way back into this game.
We're going to see Iska try and get the weaken off, but he puts it on Blanks instead of Rook. Oh, here comes the ultimate!
He needs to jump out. Very smartly doing the jump to the unmovable territory, so he jumps back in. Gets enough info for it. Oh no, Rook! Where are you going? Wow. Such a close round, but again in overtime, Project Horizon wins. I want a statistic for how many times when the map closes in, what is the win rate for Project Horizon? It has to be something above 80%.
I mean, especially, as I've mentioned, they have so much movement and CC on their side. Just being able to push everybody around, push them into the darkness, just have overall map control and a lot of awareness as to what's going on. But I do want to bring it up, you said it. Sirius using his spacebar into a wall so that it actually came back around, doubling his invulnerability time. Really smart and fantastic reaction.
Avoids the killing blow from the Rook ultimate, but Project Horizon ended up winning that round anyways, and kind of, if you don't win it, it almost doesn't matter because the points do just get picked up by Project Horizon, and they're finding their way back. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh! Wow, the Shifu goes down, and 213 is able to close it out with a Rook ultimate, and all of a sudden, they're gonna tie up the rounds. Oh, the Clarity Potion was not quite exactly well timed. Wow.
That was a fast round.
That was a fast round. 213 made a big connection, and then also the center orb control wasn't quite as clean as it was before. 213 got his ultimate, and then the cooldowns just happened to be not in favor of Iska, and then also got panicked in the middle of it, so it was an easy shot for 213. And Rook's ultimate does a ton of damage.
It really honestly does, and now he's also got an Earthquake, which means every Tremor will also inflict armor break, so if he hits him with the first Tremor, each Tremor after that will get increased by 20% damage.
It's definitely dangerous to be on the receiving end of. Blanks is finding a hard time right now, needs to spend that Swift Roll, gets away, avoids the spear from Shifu. Center Orb will go to prizes, and now Blanks is under pressure again, will spend the barrier again. Does get the fear on the Sirius. Trying to juke Rush, waiting for the counter from Sirius, but Sirius is just gonna mount up again. There's a counter, will proc it on the Shifu, and again Blanks finds himself in trouble. Banana coming out, but Iska hasn't been able to give a lot of value in terms of aggression so far.
Ooh, using the banana to grab the orb, but that was actually really smart. It might be 25%, but you get max health as well.
Iska's counter does get baited out. Meanwhile, 213 is fighting through Condemn, but not able to connect any damage in health. Watch out, the counter is still a ways away. And 213 lands a stun on the Whirling Blade. Iska can be in a very difficult position, but was able to control center orb and wait for his counter to come back up. Now only has a space available. Condemn taking a lot of damage from Blanks using the deadly injection. Weaken comes onto 213, and now, oh, the spacebar is down. The counter is available, but it could get juked.
Ultimate.
The panic after the stun as well. Ultimate gets pushed away, but 213 is in trouble now.
There's another one. He can't get healed through both of them.
Up enough. And it seems like Not Sure if prizes are real, are going to push themselves up to match point. Match point right now. Shifu Sirius is making it happen in the European scene.
Trying to take down Project Horizon, a team we've seen do fantastically in our 2v2s and our 3v3 tournaments. Still playing great, but you know, introducing a new team comp, this Lucy Rook, something we haven't seen in our tournaments yet. Usually it's the Lucy Rakan that we see 2 and 3 approach this with. But this play, I mean, we're getting to see a lot of really short outplays, a lot of really small micro movements.
Oh no, Sirius's counter gets procced, and that's going to give him another charge strike. Now Blanks is in trouble, lost a lot of health, it gets petrified up. That's going to help Condemn set up again. The boulder try to peel, the barrier is up, but now that the barrier is gone, that's going to open up a lot of opportunity for damage. 213 does get away, or rather, Blanks does get away, and now 213 has a lot of cooldowns and is in the middle of both of them. Prismatic Strike does land, but the Charge Strike doesn't quite. Weakened onto the Rook, and actually Center Orb does go to Project Horizon. Will turn the ultimate around to try to attack Condemn, but that's going to cause him to use the immaterial. Counter does land. Oh no, you need to watch out for the Kunju. Whirling Blade gets stunned up. And now the counter procs. Berserk is available.
He barely takes any damage from both ultimates. That's 200% energy almost. He was able to suck up himself. Rook, so much damage.
Wasn't able to control center orb, but that helps Blank stabilize actually. You can see how healthy he is now. But one more connection from Iska and Sirius, or Iska and the Condemned, can really shift the tides of battle. Oh no! Iska's in trouble! He's gonna go down against Incap! No, the cross kill! No! And Not Sure if prizes are real, nearly made the dream happen. But Iska played a little too aggressively, uses space, uses counter, and got cornered. And 213 and Blanks were patient enough. There's a fantastic panic. That's a combo. That is a fantastic way to tie up this series. We're going to the last round.
This is going to be close, but as you said, Iska going a little bit too hard to try and take out Lucy. Lucy's frustrating to deal with.
Yeah.
Because you know she doesn't have too much mobility, but I mean, we see 2-1-3 again, trying to be a bro, trying to do his best to keep them away, using his boulders, his stuns, his rush. And every time he does rush in, he also gets a little bit of berserk and a little bit of a half stun.
Oh, lands a crushing blow. Here comes a rush. Does land it onto the Shifu as well. Counter does get proc. Kunju is available, and now Blanks is in trouble. Rook does get the jump stun on the crushing blow and avoids one of the petrifies. Center orb goes to prizes, but right now, not a lot of the teammates of Project Horizon are in trouble. Incapacity to try to set something up, but it's just condemned because Sirius is getting zoned out by 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Oh, wow. From downtown lands the rush. Procs the counter on the Shifu. Spends the ultimate to try to get the center orb.
Oh, lands all three of them. The last one dealing significant damage to Shifu. But now we're going to see Sirius doing his best to try and heal up.
Crippling move. Oh, watch out. Sirius is in trouble. He could get dropped again, and Project Horizon might actually steal this away from Not Sure if prizes are real.
Oh, the Petrify now down. It's going to be tough for them. They're not going to be able to isolate anybody if they can't take 2-1-3 out of the match.
Nice use of the barrier to push the Whirling Blades away. Sirius uses the mobility, gets a crushing blow. The counter is baited out.
Both out.
They're both baited out. This is getting really, really close. One big connection from Iska and Condemn can close it all out. But this is looking really, really bad. If they let Rook go ham, it's over for them. Oh, just barely gets the in-cap. The swing is not enough. Crushing blow is for the stun. We're back into a neutral situation.
Oh, but they're split up. If you take a look at prizes right now,
Uh-oh.
they're on opposite sides of the map, and we see Iska getting the counter baited out of him.
Uses the counter to get the snare onto Condemn. Counter's not available on Iska for just a little while longer. There's a counter from Sirius. Doesn't get the jump. Again, the center orb goes to Iska and Condemn, and I think that might be, this is so, any mistakes here are unforgivable because it is a tournament life on the line.
And the double ultimate could happen. We're going to see them try and get the Petrify. He used one of his iframes. Let's hope he can still get out of this.
The Panic Flask is going to be such an important cooldown. Procs the invulnerability, pushes them away. Whirling Blade is off the table. Now it's just Iska's Astral Beam to make something happen. Gets panicked out.
Oh my!
That's huge. That's exactly what Blanks needed to do. He scoped it out. He got it done. Immaterial is down. Counter is down.
Oh, that might be it.
Oh no, Project Horizon is just too good. They're just too good. The Rook is gonna win a tournament game. Ended it with the meat stick. Exactly what Blanks needed to do, and he hit it. It could not have been more perfect.
I mean, they were being a little bit projecting. They tried to do double ult all the time, so she probably knew just the amount of time it had been and the fact that, you know, Shifu already used his ultimate. Sirius was going to try and follow up very shortly, but what a perfect panic. Just forcing him out, letting them just hone down on Shifu to finish him off. Sirius left alone. Incredible play from both of these teams. Two comps we haven't seen make it this far. One of them was bound to win, and somehow Rook, Lucy were able to come out on top. Project Horizon again, taking another victory.
I hope from this point forward, we're going to see a lot more Rooks playing on server, because that was inspirational. I mean, taking Rook as a champion, never before winning a tournament with that character, and then just defeating one of the most popular setups that there can be, Sirius Shifu. And it wasn't a blowout, right? It was pretty close, but it just goes to show how far player skill can take you. Those ending moments, avoiding the Whirling Blade.